Welcome back, everybody. If you haven't seen my last video on backhands, go ahead and check that out right now. If you have, then welcome to the forehand video. Alrighty, so as I said, go check out that backhand video before you come here. We're gonna go over a few things of number one, how to grip a forehand, and number two, throwing a nice straight level forehand and what the flight of the disc should be. First thing we're gonna go over the grip of what we want to do for a forehand. What's gonna be the easiest and what's gonna feel natural in your hands. What I do is I take two fingers and put them on the bottom of the plate right here and press them up against the plate. So two fingers only. And then my other hand is kind of really creased up in there. And I'm right here. I know some people that will fold up these fingers. I know some people that throw one finger. It's up to comfort. It's what you feel comfortable with. This is what's comfortable with me. This is how I throw it. We went over the backhand and how it's a reach back. Forehand, when you keep the disc flat, we're gonna throw, and as my hips come forward, my arm follows. So I'm gonna go right here, and then my hand does the rest. So what we look at is coming through like this and making sure we're staying down on it. So I don't wanna be leaning back like this. I wanna be kind of down by the side. So right here, that's only half of it, because the other half is wrist. The wrist motion is gonna get that spin on the disc, and it's gonna really allow for that disc to do the flight that you want it to do. When you do this, you're gonna act like you want to rat tail somebody. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna really kind of try to get that snap of the wrist when you're throwing. So as I said, like a rat tail kind of like throw. So you're really trying to just whip it. So if you were to have a towel, sorry for the dirtiness, I used it for a lot of muddy disc. But what we're gonna do is if you were to hold the disc or the towel like you would hold the disc, and you would just go, you want that whip, work on that. We will continue with the disc type. Again, I recommend, for me personally, mid-ranges work the best for my forehand. That's me personally though. Everyone's gonna be a little different. So let's continue. So we're gonna start with putters, then we're gonna go to mid-range, then we're gonna have fairway drivers, and then we're gonna have distance drivers. First forehand disc we're gonna do is an overstable putter. Go check out Spring Valley Disc Golf Course. They have a great selection of disc, a lot of different brands. They have the new Lone Star disc, you know, our local, so we can check those out. The people at that store, they will know what to get you. So if just ask them questions. They know a lot about disc golf. They can get you set up. So go check them out. All right, now we're gonna be throwing putters. Disclaimers: the Harpoon can be considered a mid-range. It's a tweener. You can putt with it if it's high winds and whatnot. This is a good, you know, it can be used as a putter. This is what I use for my overstable putter. Now, this is actually one of my favorite discs to forehand. It's this thing, if you give it enough, it will go straight. Going off the flight of that, it did exactly what you would think a overstable disc would do with a forehand. When you throw, it's gonna go left to right, and it's gonna really dive out of the sky, which you saw that Harpoon do. Love that disc. Now I'm gonna go on to a stable putter. Another disclaimer, I know, I'm full of these disclaimers right now. I don't normally throw forehand putters. That's the only putter I might throw forehand. So these next shots are gonna be very soft shots, just to show you that you don't have to throw them very hard. Next disc I'm gonna throw is a fierce, very understable. I'm gonna throw this, and don't be surprised if this turns into a roller. I don't mean for it to, but this is very understable. Here we go. Told you. Now, if I didn't mention before, When we throw with a forehand, your natural throw with the wrist is gonna be to kind of turn over a little bit, and that rotation going this way is gonna make that disc kind of be a little bit unstable. It's gonna start off looking like it's going to that left side if you're throwing with your right arm. So we're gonna work on really whipping through, and this is a very overstable disc, but don't be surprised to see it go straight because you're gonna have a lot of rotation on this disc. So here we go. All right, so now we're going into fairway drivers. So fairway driver, I like to really throw forehand, is gonna be this Raptor. And I'm gonna show you exactly that snap because I'm gonna have to start getting a lot more speed behind this with, you know, the higher we go up in disc or the higher speeds that we go up in, you know, we're gonna have to start putting a lot more snap on it so it goes straighter. So here we go. Actually fought out. So now we're on to distance drivers. Our first one up is an overstable force. So this disc, throwing that forehand is gonna really wanna finish off that right. I've actually been becoming a lot more comfortable throwing this forehand. I wouldn't, you know, starting off, I wouldn't have thrown it, but starting to get used to it. I fought hard to the right. If there's anything that I think you can take away from this, obviously you're having to throw it a lot more force using the fairway drivers and the distance drivers. I strongly recommend to start with your mid-ranges. I would continue doing that. And also another trend that we saw was the higher speeds that we got and those understable discs tended to fight out of it a little bit more. So it didn't roll over on us. It could have been a little bit of user error as well. That's all for this video. I hope you liked this video. I'm gonna have another video coming up and Kris is actually gonna help me with that video. He's gonna be throwing some disc for me. Our next video is gonna be over hyzer throws. See you next time. Take it easy.